Many members have had a chance to review. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Item number 1 is approval of a minor public works contract with Asphalt Resurrection LLC, DBA Everline Coatings and Services for Annex 1 Upper Deck restriping. Total is $49,40.43. Eric, welcome.
Thank you, Counselor. So this is the final phase of the work we're doing to the parking deck where you guys park before today. This is the last phase where they're going to come in, actually restripe everything for you. Today, I don't know if you saw the construction going on. They've gotten started on the resurfacing. They're grinding away the old waterproofing. They're going to come back, fix their concrete, re-waterproof it, and then once they're finished with that, then Everline Coatings is going to come in and restripe everything for us.
Questions?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved.
Did you lose the bet? I did.
Item number 2 is approval of minor public works contract with Pro Clean for fire station number 1 vent hood cleaning. The total is $2,450. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Roll Tide. Yeah. So this work is funded by our outside services budget, and this will clean all the grease accumulation that is inside the overhead hood and exhaust duct work at Fire Station 1.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3, approval of a minor public works contract with Pro Clean for fire station number 12 vent hood cleaning. Tim?
Exact same scope as the previous, also funded by our outside services, and this is for Fire Station 12.
Questions?
So moved.
Second.
Movement. That's gonna happen before the day's over. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 is approved. Wonder if anybody's paying attention at home. Item number 4 is approval of a minor public works contract with Crimson Carpet and Flooring for removal and replacement of floor tile and waterproofing in the restrooms at the Tuscaloosa Police Department. Tim?
This is funded by the facility renewal budget for TPD headquarter improvements, and is to make repairs to various broken floor tiles on the second floor, inside and around the men's and women's restrooms.
And the total, I did not say, because it wasn't on the, I guess it got cut off, is $10,560.
That's
Sorry.
correct.
Questions?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is authorization for the mayor to execute a renewal of the waste disposal service agreement regarding the Black Warrior Solid Waste Disposal Authority. John, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is our service agreement renewal for 10 years for our solid waste disposal at the Black Warrior Solid Waste Landfill.
Is this renewal based on the rates and the information that was provided to us by, or what are we, I want to ask that, what are we? This agreement entails what?
This is everything that's disposed of solid waste from ESD.
Include prices and everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, rates, yeah.
Nothing's changed. It's actually been the same contract, same service agreement since 1994.
Okay.
So
Questions?
what do we do? Update the pricing on an annual or?
The pricing has not changed. It's $18 a ton.
Since 1994?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's the cost of one thing that ain't going up.
Questions for John?
The other side. So moved.
Okay. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6 is approval of a balancing change order number 1 to the construction contract with Southern Civil Contracting for the US 11 Bridge Replacement Utility Relocations Project. Deductive total, wow, Bryce, we're so glad you're back. Deductive total, $7,840. That doesn't happen often. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Well, this was utility relocations to accommodate an ALDOT project, the bridge replacement, kind of between Cracker Barrel and where University Boulevard and Skyline come together. There's a bridge over there over the railroad that they're replacing. So this was our city utility project to relocate some water lines. We're closing it out. We are deductive, but this was a 100% reimbursable contract. ALDOT paid us back for it, so it's not like we're actually getting that money back. So So sorry to
Questions?
just.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6 is approved. Item number 7 is approval of a primary services agreement with TTL for Elevate Tuscaloosa Professional Services, Task Order Directive Number 1, the total not to exceed $140,000. Welcome, Brendan and Katie Beth.
Good afternoon, council. We'd like to get authorization for a primary services agreement with TTL. Mr. Walker is here in addition to answering any questions. We've been operating under a similar agreement. We just wanted to revamp it since 2019. In this round, this agreement provides just a quick highlight: project planning, concept development, due diligence studies, which includes engineering, geotechnical, and related items, property acquisition analysis, feasibility analysis, landscape design analysis, and other related technical services.
Is the first contract, is it just expired, I mean, based on?
It's essentially legal wanted us to revamp it. It was authorized in 2019 with an amendment, I believe, in 2021.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, I got more questions. You're not making any motions. So legal, you lean in over this too. This is structured as a primary services agreement. Is that a different type than the previous one?
I can't.
Earth to legal, earth to legal.
Legal requested a TOD structure this time. I can't speak as to why they wanted that. They would have to.
Let's let legal speak to that.
I'll have to wait till Mr. Holmes.
Huh?
Have to wait till Mr. Holmes returns.
Okay. Okay, then let's talk about the features of it. And Katie Beth and I got a chance to talk somewhat on the phone this morning. So as she explained it to me, this is a contract that allows you to kind of get an inch start on some things that may happen, but it's too early to go get request approval for those things. Is that,
That's a very
that's
fair
a fair
description.
description?
The other thing I would also echo, Mr. Busby, is in this particular situation was very successful during our disaster recovery phase, and Mr. Walker led that. The secondary item I would mention is this is a direct contact with Mr. Walker as opposed to other members at TTL, so we were getting a very high level of service. The third thing that I would mention, he's over there.
That's high level over there?
That's high level.
Very high.
The third thing I would mention too is that it is absolutely impossible for us to cover the level of cost by a position to get this level of service. We cannot
Cover the level of cost by what? By
Think about it this
position?
way, for $140,000, we have access to probably a suite of 10 to 12 different services, potentially, depending on what the need is. It would cost us that much to have one employee potentially just to do one of those services on staff. So we see this as a benefit to the organization by not taking on salaries, benefits, while having a suite of services that can be utilized in all 7 council districts.
I understand. I have no objections to that. My only question is, obviously, council does not want speculative projects pursued without request. Equally obvious,
Yes, sir.
it's not really feasible to not do some early stage legwork to even decide if a project is worth pursuing or presenting to council, right?
That's
I mean,
right.
are we,
And we don't operate on this in isolation. We're usually operating alongside one or more of you on a project. So it's not like it's being done just by staff, us acting autonomously.
We're
Okay.
in a $5,000 to $15,000 range for requests, depending on the need. I think of Mr. Tyner for the ADECA approval process that was needed for the tennis center. I think of Councilor Wilson for Burrell Odom Park that we're working on. Councilor Lanier, Springbrook Park, McAfee Center for Councilor Fail, Rock Quarry, kind of Phelps Boat Landing area for you, Councilor Crowe. Queen City Park was one I think we've got a chance to take a quick peek at. There's some survey work to see what was potentially there and what encumbrances were there to know what we're getting into.
Before we started it.
Just as a representative example to see, is this something that's even worth pursuing from a staff and dollar amount time to vet it out and then see what the next step may be. It really helps you develop, see if the scope's
so what are the financial left and right lateral boundaries for that? This is $140,000 task order directive number 1, is that right?
Yes, sir.
How, is that for a year? Are there other task order directives involved in this? That's the piece I don't understand.
This first task order, directive number 1 for 140, is for about 2 years
For about 2
of
years?
time. Yes,
And the task orders are separate, right? They're not, they don't run parallel or simultaneous.
correct. We would expend all of these dollars and this time before
Before.
we would come back and request a second
Okay.
task order.
So we approve this, then it'll play out, and then at some point, a year or two down the road, we'll see a request for a successor task order director.
We would
That's right.
definitely, unless there is some project of distinction that I'm unaware of at this moment that council really wanted to lock a large amount of this into, I would see this running well over a year, a minimum a year and a half.
Okay.
We are very judicious in how these are
And
utilized.
when that task order was, the money was expended, and you guys came back to ask to renew for something, you could probably pretty easily tell us where we spent the money.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is authorization to enter into a 1-year software, hardware, maintenance support contract with DataWorks Plus. Totals $3,880. Jason, welcome.
Thank you. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
This is a 1-year renewal for the software and hardware maintenance and support for the fingerprint and mugshot machine that is for PD.
Where's the money, Jason?
This is in our budgeted in our maintenance contracts.
Motion to approve.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 8 is approved. Item number 9 is an update on special district projects. Zach? Or actually, we're getting Mike. Zach?
Wow.
I'm sure he'll bring you in the conversation too. Mike, welcome.
Well, thank you, sir. What OCE wanted to do today was to bring everyone up to speed on the money that's been allocated to each one of your districts, the communications that we've had with each and every one of y'all, and where this money seems to be headed. Some of this has already been kind of allocated, and I'll mention that, but most of this is things that y'all have asked for and is in the works to be done. So, starting out with council district number 1.
Mike, how long do you think this brief will go? Is this a 5-minute or a 50-minute?
What do you want it to be?
Well, I want it to be 50, but I only have 5.
I would think that I'm gonna do this in 5 to 10 at the most.
Okay.
Starting out with Councilor Wilson's district, he has asked us to look at some of his allocation to be expenditures for lighting. And this is in the Newtown neighborhood area, in particularly around Burrell Odom Park as well, which the city is working toward some enhancements in that area. At this point, the remainder of his allocation has been looked at for part of the citywide resurfacing project. And just real quickly, there's a list of the roads out of the resurfacing plan. So moving on to District 2. Here we have money that has already been allocated in Councilperson Howard's district. This is the Ash Street sidewalk that we have TTL engaged for design. That's $154,478. And that will be sidewalk connectivity to the new Benjamin Barnes branch YMCA that's being constructed, connecting to the new Carlton Park, which will be starting under construction shortly. Again, right now, the earmark for the remainder of the funds is to work in the citywide resurfacing with that list of streets there. So District 3, here we are looking at doing an in-house design for District 3. This is at the intersection of North Ridge Road and Rice Valley Road. We're going to create some pedestrian crossings at this intersection. Again, we're gonna do this work in-house, designed by OCE. We have a ballpark cost estimate around $150,000 to perform this work. You can see there on the diagram, the crosswalks, to the pedestrian islands, and there will also be some changes to the signals as well for that, or pedestrian signals. And then approximately $350,000 in District 3 will be part of the citywide resurfacing. District 4, Councilman Busby, you'd asked us to take a deep dive into some flooding issues along 13th Street, in particularly around Queen City, 13th to the 15th. We have spent quite a bit of time working with Public Works in identifying the storm drainage network and its peculiarities. It's about a 120-acre drainage area. This is one of the older neighborhoods, parts of town. We're finding old, antiquated storm systems. Probably do not meet today's standards. There's also some structures, storm structures and pipelines that are running under some of the old homes in this area. We're at a point now that we're going to be, probably within the next week or two, looking at bringing this to you. We feel like we need an outside consultant to develop a plan. So our idea is to hire an outside consultant to prepare a drainage study. From there, you will get a cost estimate, and we can start looking at, what is it going to cost to create or improve some of the drainage facilities in this area.
Okay, is this an update of the projects that, we opted to finance a fire station because it was a 50-year asset, and that's got an interest carrying cost involved. And then we did that so that each of the council districts would have around $500,000 to use for things that they were seeing that were in their face, right? Is that what we're being briefed on now?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that $500,000.
Okay, so is the next slide my sidewalks and curbs?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead to the next slide.
Still got $300,000.
All right. Now,
Okay, so roughly $200,000 to $300,000 will be is dedicated, let's say, or earmarked to the sidewalks and issues that you have brought before us. And we'll be working on those and anticipate starting, repairing some of them in April.
in when?
April?
April.
Yes, sir. Yeah, maybe a little sooner.
So here's what prompted my desire to be updated is I spent a lot of time going around taking photos and putting together a PowerPoint that illustrated these are the ones I want fixed with this money.
That's correct.
And I see all these other sidewalks in my district getting fixed. Who do you have to know to get your sidewalks fixed?
Well, who fixed those other sidewalks?
I assume the city of Tuscaloosa did.
Well, yeah, and I think you may be referring to the stuff on Greensboro.
Greensboro, there's down on 19th Avenue probably. There's some in Deering Place, and that's wonderful. I love that. But that's not the ones that I briefed my constituents were being submitted to be repaired. Where are they coming from?
All right, so those that you're referring to, I think, came from another request, an outside individual. We have that.
That's what I'm at. What outside individual do I have to know to get the sidewalks fixed?
So nobody. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to get your sidewalks fixed, and we are working with Public Works to selectively determine which ones are in the scope of services they can provide and which ones that we need to look at an outside contractor repairing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It may, but I think what would be good is if maybe you and I do another ride through, because if I have wrong expectations of what should have been coming out of that package, I'll adjust it. But if I don't, I wanna know why they're not being fixed.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay, so roughly 200 on the water, the 13th Street Basin drainage study, and roughly 200 of sidewalk improvements and curb repairs is what we estimate?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, moving to District 5, Councilman Tyner's district.
Come on, Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
The gold-plated district.
Exactly.
Right. These sidewalks are gold, right?
Exactly.
we're working toward that.
They will be by the time we finish paying for it.
So here, we have again, encumbered $110,850 for design of sidewalks. The TTL is under contract for that, doing the survey now, anticipating the design, sometime in March. Councilman Tyner's wishes as the remainder of his district funds be earmarked for construction of that sidewalk.
Correct.
Which will help move it forward. It may take some additional funds from next year or whatever, but that has been his desire.
Also committed all of next year's to it.
All right.
Assuming there is an extra.
Yeah, what next year's?
Well, we got one more year.
We gonna have to finance another fire station?
We're gonna get more than that.
All right, District 6, Councilman Fail. We've been working with him, all of his funds, we're looking at doing resurfacing with. And this is a list of the roads that are in the 24 resurfacing project at this point.
Have we, you said there was some, are we gonna change that Cherokee Road, or have you made your mind up, or we need to talk about that?
I think we're gonna flip that. We're looking at that. I've got a cost estimate in the works for the settlement that we've discussed and what it's gonna take to repair that. So we need to look at that together with you.
The road you're talking about flip-flopping to may be in worse shape.
That's right. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
I understand.
All right, and finally, not last, District 7, and also Councilman Lanier has asked that all of his district funds be utilized to do resurfacing in his district. So, be glad to answer any questions.
As always, Mike, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And if you can, just maybe put on your calendar to give us a little update after first of the year. Get through the holidays where all this,
Okay.
where we are on this.
We will do that, and also just to let you know, forthcoming, we're going to do a update of our neighborhood drainage projects that we got funded.
Do that in January sometime later.
We've got a pretty good program set up for how we want to disperse those or spend those funds that we have allocated for that, so we'll be updating you on that.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
y'all's
Mike.
hard work. Thank you, Zach, too.
Thank you, Zach.
Is there any other business to be brought before this committee? Hearing none, our next meeting will be next Tuesday, December the 12th. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?